Greetings, comrades, and welcome to the Rad Gaming Podcast. I'm Pescador, and in this episode of the podcast, I talk to Impacted Piko. Impacted Piko is a Twitch streamer who not only streams gameplay, but also streams his artistic hobbies such as clip and overlay editing. We talk in depth about how to keep your viewers engaged while not streaming gameplay, how to showcase your artistic abilities on your own channel, and we talk about how he managed to paint Andy Milonakis at a gaming convention. This episode of the podcast is sponsored by Centafiore. Centafiore is the lifestyle, is the fashion brand, and you can get all their comfortable clothing at centafiore.com. That is CENTO-FIORI.com. Also, the Rad Gaming Podcast is part of Big Heads Media. With that said, on to the podcast.
Well, my name is Impacted Piko. Now, for some people that don't know what the Impacted Piko name was based, a lot of people are curious about it. I've been get a couple of questions, like, where is Piko coming from? And basically, the name of Piko, I got it a name under a, you ever had a side dish called Pico de Gallo?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so I love those. I love that side dish with the chips on it. Just enjoying the twisty scrumptions of, tomato, onions, jalapenos, with all that good mix in there on the bowl, so that way you're prepared with your little tortilla chips. Dive in, just have that good tasting crunchy and that lovely juicy of it. But I have to thank my pops. He gave me this name, and I kept it on for about, maybe about 6 years, and I didn't think about changing anything. So, I mean, it was just like stuck to me. Like, it was like a label name, like, okay. But anyway, so I thought it was maybe a great idea, since a lot of people that encouraged me long ago, even though Twitch was not my very first one, even though YouTube was my very first one that I did live stream. But the only thing I was just puzzling, and then I was just eating my side dish, and then I just quickly realized as I'm eating, I look down of my bowl of Pico de Gallo. And then I start thinking, Pico de Gallo, Piko. And then I start thinking about that word, Piko, Piko, Piko. And then I went ahead and just like, okay, all right, Piko, all right. So what's so good about this word Piko? And then I looked up on Google, and I gotta tell you, I would say there were some good things about it, but I did had a lot of nicknames based off the name, because there was a I'll start sharing this one. I think you'll probably understand this one and the reason why I changed it. So the PICO, so there was a show, I will not say it, but there's a base word of Pico, but it was something based about, the word.
It was an anime?
Yeah, it was.
Okay, I know where you're going with this. Okay.
Yes, but this was a little bit a huge no-no.
Yes.
And that's when I'm like, okay, I will not base myself like that. So what I did is I instantly decided to remove the C and put the K on to make it look like it's still the same, but it's different. So just to change it up a little bit. But other than that, though, so I officially called myself Piko at the time. But however, Impacted, though, I'll have to thank Xbox One for giving me the Impacted word, because I was figured to try to call myself the Piko in Xbox One, so figured to continue streaming on Xbox One and PC. So Xbox decided to call me Impacted Piko instead, and I was like, okay, I do some odd impacted stuff. Why not? So I went along with it. I stick that all together in one. So what we got is Impacted Piko.
So the question I have for you is, you said you started streaming on YouTube.
Correct.
What made you switch from YouTube over to Twitch?
A lot of people that I came across to just recognized my voice a little bit, and they were curious. They were scratching their head, and they were asking, do you do any video content? And I'm like, no. Do you do any streaming? And I'm like, no. And then I just go along with it. But until there were like a Pacific streamer, and she was joined with us. She used to be called Kimiko. She saw me and saw my voice, and that's her thing, and she was just hearing it through, and she was so curious, like, do you ever think about streaming? Because I encourage you to do your first streaming. And I'm like, okay, like what? Oh, I don't know, Rust? Or maybe one of those old games you enjoy, maybe you want to play it through, maybe talk about it. I'm like, I never done that. I never really like show myself and to like describe games. And then I'm like, maybe I can give it a try. So I went along with it, and my first streaming was Resident Evil 7. But, however, a couple months later, there was another streamer, and I was playing with him. We had a great time, and he was streaming, I was streaming. We were playing Friday the 13th, and so he had a great time, and I had a great time with him. And then this is where I decided to, well, believe it or not, I did a first editing with a streamer, and I did this hilarious editing of. I did a little mixing reference between like Dragon Ball Z with Jason Voorhees, I was trying to remember. Yeah, I was basically this person trying to survive, and the streamer was actually Jason. He was coming at me. I had the flare gun, and then I was making a ridiculous statement like, like Kamehameha, and just like shooting that flare in his face. He got knocked out. Everybody was laughing about that, so I thought it was really, really great. So once I showed it to him, he did actually to ask me like, dude, can you please come to Twitch? I think we can do something for fun together. I'm like, you know what? How bad can it be? So I tossed that aside. I went ahead and just moved my 2 legs and run towards Twitch. Tried out the first time, getting all the settings all worked up and that sort of thing. And, chat with the other streamers saying, I'm coming to Twitch. I'm packing my bags. I'm flying over to Twitch. That I decided to mix myself between playing games, editing overlays, and edited videos. Just for all those 3 combined for fun. Now, and the reason why I'm saying that is because I thought a lot of people would be interested to see me doing presentation on editing overlays, like knowing what's going on. Like, why are you doing this?
Do you stream yourself editing the overlays? Is that what you do?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, so far, previously on my editings, I actually got done with Dead Space theme.
You do something different than most people don't do on Twitch. They stream themselves editing. How do you pull in people from that? How do you get people to actually stick around and chat? Because I'll be honest, when I go to Twitch, the first thing I think of is watching gameplay. I don't think of people editing stuff. So how do you get people to actually interact with you and stop by and stay around for a while?
That is a good question. I mean, there is a lot of few people that have different tastes. That I can understand. I mean, for me, I do have a taste for, editing and then, merge that in for, once I play a game and then show off my overlay. But I thought to turn it into like a class. Like if somebody was interested to do editing, I thought to present it with this editing program I have called Camtasia.
Yeah.
It's not really expensive, but even though it's around nearly closely, of course, $200, way better than Sony. But however, it made it simple in understanding how to control it. Especially it supports you to do animations, which is also awesome.
Yeah.
But compared to like Sony and some other like Adobe, like Adobe Pro Premiere, there's like so many options, and you're just like, how to work with this thing? I don't know how to do it.
Yeah, so you just break it down and teach it as a class, basically, to help people learn this? That's really intelligent, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, so I thought to myself, like, I don't want to be like this person, like, like saying like, oh yeah, I will crop your face and then place you with Mario and then just like, do some other, step by step. But I'd rather do this. I'd rather say, what I want to do? I want to get this gentleman's face. I want all the details. I want to make sure everything's all faded to make it look like it looks like that's the actual face from a character, but just making sure things are gentle, not to make things look like it's fake, but make it look like it's real.
Yeah.
It's imaginary. And so that's where I go with that detail. And then of course whenever I make an oopsie, I just like, just remember, guys, don't forget this rule. Don't screw this up. Just make sure you go one by one. But good thing we can do undo and that sort of thing. So, but yeah, I stick with that, and a lot of people did enjoy it, and they had a great learning, great teaching, and I had about not too many. That's a good start. Not too many, but they did say I would love to learn more, and I just thought that, yeah, sure. Whenever you have time, I could probably, show you this, show you that. That's about it.
Do you go with the curriculum, or do you just like be like, you know what, I'm going to work on this today. I'm going to show this to like all my followers, all my viewers. I'm just going to show them this specific part. Has anybody ever asked you to, can you show me this part? Can you show me this aspect of everything?
No. What's really funny is and here's another special thing about this part is I do encourage people, whoever comes by, I do encourage to ask them one simple question. What would you like to see on this one? And then I give them choices, like make them feel like they're part of it, because I like to build a team.
Yeah.
Like make them feel like they helped me made this. And believe it or not, I had a couple encourage me to build something for Doom, sort of say. But more importantly though, that's where I kind of noticed that they love to be interact, and for me to give them a vote and to help me create it. And that's where I feel like that was maybe the best idea ever, is to let them be involved, make a vote for me, help me build this, even though I'm be building with them, and create it together. Like make the final one. And that's where I tweet out everybody and say, thank you so much for help me through making some great votes and that sort of thing, and turn this into this. And so that's where I go along with that. But particularly though, I don't do like any, like, don't say too much as you're working through. I try to interact with everybody and turn it into a class, and then try to get everybody into a team as I make some editing overlay. Just for fun. Yeah.
So I heard you went to TwitchCon.
Yes, that is correct.
And you dressed. Is this where you dressed up as Bob Ross? Was it Bob Ross? I'm sorry. Okay.
Yes, it is true. I actually did dress up at Bob Ross, and here's one thing: the reason why. I didn't ask anybody. I did not ask if I should do it. I just went ahead and do it. The only reason why is I thought to myself, there has been some, like there's a Bob Ross Twitch channel.
Yeah.
And, and I thought to myself, even though for myself, I enjoy Bob Ross. I enjoy his legacy.
Yeah.
From positivity, his, landscape art designs, even a few people that I met from Twitch actually are still doing that just for fun on the base of Bob Ross. So, which I could probably show you later on. But, however, I will say the costume was not pleased to me. I'm going to tell you this. I will tell you a lot of reasons why. So, for starters, it was a cheap one. It was a cheap costume. It was cost like $20. And I got to tell you, the afro was terrible. The mustache and everything else was terrible.
Everyone seemed to love it, though. Like, I watched a lot of your clips. Yeah. Everyone... Weren't you riding a dinosaur at one point in time? I could...
Oh, you're talking about... you were talking about PAX.
Oh, was that PAX? I thought it was TwitchCon. Oh, boy. Okay.
No. But TwitchCon, I actually... yes, I did it twice. But, however... TwitchCon was the first one I dressed up as Bob Ross.
Oh, okay.
I gotta tell you, I had a lot of crazy interacting with everybody. Even the good news is, it wasn't like everyone was stopping me all the time, but there was like about 43 people stopped me taking photos. I got it from people that were working at the lunch cafeteria. Like someone was making drinks, and somebody's like, "Hey, Bob Ross, come over here. Let me take a picture of you. My dad won't believe me. I got Bob Ross here." And I'm like, "Hey, it's great to be here." And so I was doing some posts and painting.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, I did not get I can't believe I got way deeper on TwitchCon. So, the person by the name Andy Milonakis?
Yeah, I know Andy Milonakis. I used to watch him when I was a kid. The Andy Milonakis show.
Me too.
I got peas on my head. Don't call me pea head. But yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, peas in the head. Don't call me Lee head. So believe it or not, as I was going around, as I heard someone call my name Bob Ross, I turned over, and to my huge surprise, I did not expect Andy Milonakis came in front of me, and he basically requests me to paint him in his face, his head, in details.
Oh man!
And plus, it was recorded in live from maybe a lot of people watching, and even though I will say he had a great time, I had a great time, everybody else had a great time. However, I think I may have upset him a little bit.
What did you do?
Well, he didn't show upset, but so basically I tapped him. I tapped him on the shoulder because somebody was interrupting as he was doing details when I was doing details, and then he was like, "Shh, you ruined it." And I'm like, "Oh, Andy, it's okay. It's okay. He's just helping." You know, like I'm trying to be positive as Bob Ross, and then he just looked over and, oh, I can't remember if he looked or not, but so I figured I was maybe gave a little disrespect of touching because, you know, like you probably know some people don't like to be touched.
Yeah.
That's hugely understandable because we were strangers. Even though I know him as a kid, even though I never like actually see him like face to face, but he doesn't know me because I'm just like Bob Ross. Like, sure. Yeah. But to me though, like once we're in TwitchCon, I thought we were just like average people. We're just average people, you know, giving respect to one another, you know.
Is that how you stuck out though? Is like, so there's a sea of people at TwitchCon, and you kind of maybe is that the way you, I guess, separated yourself from others by dressing up as Bob Ross, kind of getting into things?
Oh, you know, honestly, I was kind of a little bit stuck between either I should be myself or try to stick as Bob Ross and just try to do a lot of positivity lines. So I kind of mixed both.
Yeah.
So that's basically what I did. I mixed both and just walk around, you know, just
with some
swag,
Bob Ross swag, you know.
Yeah. Oh, but even though he had a great time as I painted details, but the good news is there was a clip out there, and I got it, and I showed it to the buddies, and they were surprised, and they were asking me one question: "Were you nervous at the time?" And I said, "You know, honestly, if I was a kid, I think I would be hugely nervous, but seeing him now and age 28, it just like." Not really nervous, like very surprised, but really surprised he asked me to, you know, paint his face.
Did you do a stick figure, or was it like actually kind of?
No.
Oh man,
I was doing pretty. But however, one of the people did ask me next time, but this was from PAX West. They told me I should bring the paint, you know, stands and that sort of thing, and I thought to myself, maybe next time I'll do that. And then if somebody asks me to paint, I'll do the stick figure and give it to them. Like they could keep it as a, you know, as a treasure.
Yeah.
From a different kind of Bob Ross that will be more welcome to give you some art.
I did see another part that you snuck onto a esports team. Is that correct? And they let you sit in?
Correct. But it wasn't going down like that. So believe it or not, I was not the only Bob Ross in PAX West. So there was somebody else. I was really hoping somebody was dressing up Bob Ross. I finally found the guy. We were hanging out. We were all cool. And then suddenly some guy that was running this whole line for the esport, like, hey, you, to Bob Ross. And we're looking at each other like, yeah, what's going on? Hey, you want to join the esports? Like face the U.S. Army team sports? I'm like, I don't see why not. That would be fun. And then I looked over the buddy I was looking at, and I was asking him, hey, you want to join in just for fun? Like, we're going to be like maybe one of those sneak peeks, kind of like Easter eggs for the esports.
Yeah.
And so he's like, yeah, we should totally do it. Like, awesome. So we went along with it. And even though it took us about like 30 or 45 minutes. So because we're in the back seat, like in the far backstage, and we were just like drinking water. We were meeting other teams. So even though we weren't sure like who's going to be our team. And so I gotta tell you, believe it or not, it was actually funny. It was more like someone decided to try to like poke one another, like, I hope I beat you. No, I hope I beat you. And then slowly in like respecting one another, like, I hope you do great. I hope you do great, dude. And I'm just like, what is going on?
So like esports isn't as like it's competitive, but like people are very cool, calm, and collected. Based at the end of the day, like a friendly kind of game. Is that what I hear?
Well, so the people I was describing, they were actually the volunteers to face the U.S. Army.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
They weren't like actual esports team. So sadly, we didn't actually meet them. But there was a catch that if one of us did beat those teams in the match, we would be on live. Well, basically on cam, up close, interviewing like, how you feel of winning and that sort of thing. But even though, of course, me and the other Bob Russ, we didn't win.
Yeah.
Which is okay. I mean, it was just all for fun.
Of course.
It was all for fun. Nothing this serious. But what was really embarrassing, though, I did capture all the videos that was recorded on live. I was noticing I was like the only person on live talking with the team, and there was no other team talking with me. I mean, not talking with me.
You're doing call-outs?
But they were. No, I need to rephrase it. So there is this bizarre device that allows you to like communicate with your team and then goes live at the same time, or there is an option to like talk to the team and not do it live. So I had no idea where to fix it. So, but the person told me don't touch. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to touch anything. I'm not going to change anything. And so I went along with it. And then I was just chatting to others. I was like pointing in things out, and then they were hearing my voice a lot, and they decided to sue my face, talk about me and the other Bob Ross, and that's where it got from there.
Can you just imagine, take it 1 second, if you guys would have won, what would you have adopted the persona of Bob Ross and be like, yeah, I just created a happy little tree on his face with my gun. I was like, pop, 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 pop. Sprinkle a little bit on there, just a little bit of Bob Ross flair to it.
No, I did chat with the other buddy about it. I did ask him, like, what should we say if we did win? And we think to each other, like, if that person did ask us, like, how we feel of beating the eSpeed store, I said, like, we're going to throw in a pun joke. Like, let me tell you how I feel of winning. Positivity. And, and going on saying, like, as afterwards, the positivity, we're about to say, like, we all did this for fun, but I gotta say, I had a great time playing with the esports team, so it was great fun. So just like that simple thing. But I was not going for that part. I mean, that is actually a good answer too. I mean, brushing against my enemies.
Yeah, sprinkle a little pepper in a little gun right there, and just painted a happy little tree over his dead body.
Speaking of that gun, weapon, other hand. So on TwitchCon 2018, as I was dressing up Bob Ross, security guard stopped me and confiscated my brush.
Confiscated your brush? Were you doing something inappropriate with this brush? Like, were you poking people's eyes or something?
No, not at all. I was just holding it like an ordinary person holding a brush, like same like Bob Ross did. But however, they stopped me, put me in the position, and there's like a line. So basically there is partner, affiliate, and cosplayers. And so I decided to go to affiliate because I was affiliate. And once I go there, suddenly out of blue, the security guard's like, no. You go over there. I'm like, oh, okay. Even though I didn't have any metals or anything, I had like a plastic and, cheap brush, so on and so forth. And suddenly I walked through, suddenly they're like, sir, I need your brush. I'm like, why? Sir, this brush is a weapon. I'm like, really?
What?
It goes beyond bizarre.
Bob Ross is not a finger painter. He needs his brush. Like, I don't get that. But
don't worry. They did give it back to me, but however, they had to put a purple tape, so knowing that it went through with the security guards. So even though me and my buddy were like, you know what, let's go along with this. So once we go through, we're like, everybody watch out. My brush is dangerous. I don't want everybody to get caught with my brush. I don't want to make you get caught in creative activity arts. I'll make you beautiful. But and then we slowly stopped from there. Like, we don't want to make things too weird. So, but yeah, it was really bizarre. I didn't expect the brush as a weapon, even though I can understand, like, the handle that can be a weapon.
Yeah.
Not just the brush. So it just makes sense. But I mean, to me, it's like, it's. Do I look like I'm gonna, do something with that brush so badly in TwitchCon 2018? It's like,
apparently you're gonna poking eye spree, just running around with your paintbrush, just popping people in the eyes. I don't know what kind of.
It's not like, I mean, if I was like cosplayed as John Wick, I'll probably be holding a pencil by now.
Yeah. Or the Joker. Joker can make a pencil disappear. I can understand that one. Maybe.
Dark Knight Joker. Yeah, that too. But yeah,
but Bob Ross, man, Bob Ross would not hurt a fly.
No, he is a gentle Afro man.
Yes, he is.
He's a gentle man. Of course.
So,
I mean,
So you're telling me that an esports Bob Ross broke character because he was immersed in what game were you guys playing? I'm sorry.
We were actually playing Call of Duty Black
Ops.
Oh
man, that's not Bob Ross at all.
No, but what's really funny and bizarre is, so I didn't want to take off my wig, so I tried to force their headset in my afro as I'm just like looking, and it just fit perfectly, and especially in the video clip as well. So it worked out good. But however, the shades though, believe it or not, the afros they are hard to handle. Believe it or not, because those afros, once you put it on, it just like stabs your eyes. No protection. So that's when I decided. I mean, no. I mean, real talk. Here's my statement. The wigs, for any cosplayers or new cosplayers, wigs are very dangerous. And I'm going to tell you.
Really?
The Bob Ross was not the first thing. Yeah. Well, let me tell you this. You may not have never seen this one, but long ago, last year, or maybe a few months ago, until Resident Evil 2. You ever heard the Resident Evil remake? Yeah. So I told everybody, like, if you want me to play Resident Evil 2 remake, I'll cosplay as Jill Valentine. So that's where I went from there, and a lot of people helped out, donate for me to support enough budget to get the cosplay, even though I got the cosplay, I got the right, the sets, the wigs, the hats, the gear, everything else, except the part I did not know, the wig. As I was dancing through the wig, all the hair wig went through my mouth. I was like experiencing. I was nearly about to be one of those. What's that movie called? Destination.
Final Destination.
Yeah, Final Destination. It feels like that.
I
was like in the nearing, like, yeah, exactly. Choking hazard from the wig. I was like choked up. I was like pulling out. I was like coughing, spinning. Everybody got panicked. Like, Piko, are you okay? I just got wig in my mouth. It just got really really deep. And I'm like, this is the last time I'll ever do this long hair wigs. And somebody asked me if I should cosplay as Leon. I'm like,
no wig.
I will not. No wig. No wig.
Yeah.
But, however, I will accept specific wigs, but not the long hair wigs. But the afro, I can accept. But the long wigs, oh no.
That's a whole different ball game.
Yeah, that's a different ball game. Yeah.
So
yeah.
We covered quite a bit. I know that you're talking about how to kind of separate yourself as an artist on Twitch, showing off and getting your viewers involved with some of the overlays that you've done and some of the emotes and things like that. So what kind of advice would you give aspiring streamers, maybe ones that are getting into maybe kind of like an artsy kind of style, like a Bob Ross, if you will?
Well, I will definitely say for new people is that I will tell them that if they want to do just gaming, I would say it's a long journey. It's a long journey. A lot of people do the same simple gaming. But if you have something a little bit more than just gaming, maybe like cooking, building wood and that sort of thing, because Twitch has more open opportunities now. Like you can craft wood stuff, you can cook, you can basically, you can do like tech work. You could share that all the way. It's just I would simply say my advice is maybe show more, like show your favorite stuff that you like to do in your real life. Because what I do with edits and that sort of thing, that's part of my real life. Like when I see some like hilarious clip and there's something that needs to be added in there, I take my time and just work that magic and just do it for fun. But I will say for the most part is if you have another thing that you enjoy the most, like a second skill, share that. Share that. That will actually help you on Twitch. Like a lot more things than just gaming.
You're basically saying that people that really try to dive into the gameplay, it's very hard to differentiate yourself from the rest of the gamers. But if you have a skill, why not utilize your skill, show the world your skill? Some people might actually be, inclined to join you because maybe they want to know more about it. Maybe they enjoy it too. So you show off yourself. You guys have something to bond over, and it's, I wouldn't say easier to get a following, but it's easier to make friendships that way because you guys are, you like the same kind of thing, or you're interested in the same type of hobby. Makes perfect sense.
Of course. And I will tell you, of course, it's not like an easy way to go. I would say it's just the first starting. It's the first starting of your journey. And all I will say for the most part is, don't feel let down because, we all feel that. But however, what I learned for the most part on some other experiences, I would say never feel let down and just knowing for the fact that just keep on going. The more you keep going, that's where a lot of things will come at you. It will not just be just right in front of you. It's far away. So you just got to get there.
What was one of the biggest obstacles that you faced, I guess, with doing your creative style of streaming?
Like, what was my most challenging thing on Twitch? Or
Yeah.
Oh. I will definitely say what was the most challenging thing on Twitch was maybe, I would say for the most part, I think you might agree. My most challenging thing is to pronounce people's names.
Oh yeah.
Everyone has their interesting character namespace, and once I try it, they will say, "Oh, you missaid it." And I'm like, you know what? I can fix that. Let me fix that for you, and then let me, just go along with it. So that was my first one. The second one I will definitely tell you is, most importantly, is that just make sure to be yourself. I mean, even though, of course, that's simple for me, it's just, I just wanted to remind myself is to never change who you are, and just making sure just to remind yourself, just be who you are, never change your character, or or change your lifestyle, because that's not good for you. It never is. I mean, if you're doing a character, that makes sense. But if you have like a different personality and that sort of thing, and not really tell you like who you really are, it just doesn't really help your way. It just makes it really, really bad. So I just, be fully honest as I float myself. And even though, of course, you'll be surprised if I met you in real life, you'll be surprised how much I'll just be the same old me, just continue and just, even offer you a drink. That's how I really troll on PAX West and TwitchCon.
Apparently you roll as Bob Ross and ask people for, hey, you want a drink? I'm Bob Ross. What's up?
Well, I mean, for Bob Ross, though, I would probably say it a little bit differently. Like, hey, you want to come join with me for a drink? I'll give you some positivity drink.
Positivity punch. Sorry.
Speaking of positivity drink, I actually did give people free Bob Ross positive energy drink. There's a real thing. So basically, I ordered like 12 packs, and I went over to PAX West as I just keep the balance between the Bob Ross character and just normal me, and just walked over, chat with people, and and this is where I make a deal. If somebody comes over and asks for a photo, I'll ask them if they liked a free positive energy drink to go. And if they say no, I can keep it and ask somebody else. But believe it or not, 12 packs of Bob Ross drinks were just gone, like vanished.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. I just want to give it a shot because it's Bob Ross inspired drink. I mean, why not?
Oh yeah, I mean, even though what's really funny behind it, it's only one flavor, blueberry. So if you're into blueberry, it's just one option.
Hey man, even if I wasn't into blueberry, I would try just because you could get some positivity for some Bob Ross drinks. But what might I say? But
oh yeah,
with this last little bit, is there anything that you would like to tell people out there that are trying to follow on the same path that you are?
well, if anybody is looking for, specific guidance on, how to run with Twitch and, how to run with your channel with Twitch, I will definitely tell you is, be who you are. Don't change any different stories about yourself because again, that will not be good for you in the long run, by the way. But however, I would say work hard on your social medias and just present your clips. That's what I'll be doing all the time. But if you're into editing it as I am, I would definitely show that off. But if you have any other skills, definitely show that off too in social media. That will allow a lot of people to get really interested of yourself. And I will also say that if you also like to get to know a lot of other people, I would also encourage get to know strangers too. Like if there's someone that, enjoys the same game as you or same hobby as you, definitely get some going with that. Talk with them and just get to know them. And that's where you will have a nice, sweet, awesome connection. That's basically how Twitch is. Like we have to we can't just be like a empty shell people or a simple island if we can't, get to know one another. So we want to, connect as we go. So I would definitely say is work hard on your social medias, from clips, any other skills, etc. Just make sure to be yourself. And of course, get connected with everybody. Just know who they are. And if you want to connect more with that connection, then that's where you can bring some good people, friends, and that sort of thing. And that way they can, check out your channel and that sort of thing.
Piko, it was a pleasure to speak with you. You gave us some great advice. I just want to say thank you very much for coming on the podcast. I truly appreciate having you on. And thanks for listening to this episode of the Rad Gaming Podcast. Be sure to rate and subscribe to us on iTunes, Spotify, or anywhere else you listen to podcasts. I release a new episode every Wednesday. And as always, stay rad, comrades.